Welcome back for another book review. Today we are talking about this one. So this is Utterly Wicked, Hexes, Curses, and Other Unsavory Notions by Dorothy Morrison. Now this is another one of those books that I have seen advertised a lot. This cover pops up frequently in my targeted ads, whether it's for Audible or for like Amazon. Like this one pops up pretty frequently of like, look at this book, look at this one. And I was always like, I know. Like, granted, I didn't really pay attention to the author name, to be honest. I looked at the title, looked at the cover, and I was like, probably not for me. Because again, the last book I got on this topic was pretty terrible, honestly. And so I had really low expectations, and then I thought it was by Dorothy Morrison, and I was like, fine. So I got it, obviously here from the library, and this was actually really good. So this is exactly what the title says. It is all about hexes, curses, and all of the not-so-pretties of witchcraft. Now the thing is, this is not a book that you're gonna need often. To be honest, you only need it probably a handful of times in your life. There's a few times that like you do need to pull out this type of magic, and like, if you're love and light, this is not for you. If you are all about the law of three, karma, and like the idea that like harm none means you can't do any like defensive magic, offensive magic, this is not for you. However, if you are more of a gray witch, somebody who thinks that life should be lived between the extremes, this might be a good option for you. Now the thing is, this is one of those books that like, I think everybody should read this. Whether or not you choose to do any of these things, like personally, like I'm probably not, but in the event that I would ever need to, like if you have a family member who gets murdered or like essayed or something, this book needs to happen. Like this is the handbook you need. Is that gonna happen for everybody? No. Is that gonna be something that like you're gonna need often? No. But when you need it, it's a good book to have. And like the way some things are brought up here is really good. For example, like you can't necessarily do spells for other people, especially this kind, because inevitably like it's not gonna be as powerful, and like you're gonna get yourself tangled up in things that you don't want to get tangled up in. Because this is unsavory for a reason. It's not the greatest option. You kind of need to really want to do it and deal with the consequences of your actions. However, there are other things in here that I do think are helpful in general, such as breaking hexes and curses against you. Like there's like a full routine that you're supposed to do, and it's like, that would have been helpful because my husband and his mom, when she was alive, before I was in the picture, had gotten cursed by some people, and it's like, I know for a fact they did not do all of the steps that this book tells you to do. That probably would have been helpful because they were dealing with the ramifications for years. So like, not everyone is love and light. There's actually quite a few witches out there that will cause damage to you. They don't give a damn. They're happy to curse people just because. Now granted, when you look at their lives, are they having a good life? No. But they can do things to you, and you need to do things back sometimes. And again, also breaking things. And like, this one really got me because it's like, it feels kind of reminiscent of something I read from Penzac, but different. So she was talking about how in a class that she was attending, the teacher was doing the same spiel of, you hear it everywhere. You have your shields up, you bounce the energy back, return to sender, right? But then she brought up, she was like, okay, so what about when their shield does the same thing? Boom, boom, boom. We're just playing like tennis back and forth, just ricochet back and forth. Like eventually one of you is gonna cave and then it's gonna all hit you. And the teacher had never thought of that because like nobody talks about that. And so she was like, no, you take that energy can be put to neutral and then put towards good. Do the witching. And it's like, yeah, fair though, actually though. It was a really fantastic random little story in here, which is like, it's stuff like that I think this book everyone should read through. And again, I was thoroughly impressed. I really wasn't anticipating that I was going to like this book. I didn't think it was a topic I would care about, and now I most definitely plan to go buy a copy for myself. I think everybody should have this. I love the way Dorothy Morrison writes anyways. She's a fantastic author, and like, again, this is just one of those books that like, you're not gonna need it very often, But when you do, it is really nice to have this book. There are a lot of things in here that I just think everyone should read. Beginners, probably not. You're gonna be too tempted. Intermediate to advanced though, this is a good book for you. Because again, beginners, you have a tendency to be like, oh my god, spells, I know best. And then, we've all been there though, to be honest. All of us have done a spell that you regret. And there are a couple of things of like how to reverse, and some of these are like really complex. And like she goes into a lot of detail in here. And like if you are into like I don't know, because even some of the things you're like, you could easily not do it in a bad way, do it in a good way, and it's still really good content. Like there's one for like quilting and like specific patterns to use to cause certain things, and it's like, you could also do that for good though. Like this could not be a bad thing. And so it's just, overall, this was such a good book. I was really surprised. I really didn't think I was gonna like it, but here we are. I really loved it. So anyways, I would love to hear your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post every single day, and until next time, thank you so much for watching, and blessed be.